The black community is more divided than ever. And we saw this with this election between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. After the election results, black women was online going crazy on the black men. Was this all black women? No, because you have a large portion of black women that do love and support black men. But you have a large portion of black women that's been hurt by black men, or they feel as though black men are not doing enough in the community, and they got behind this Kamala Harris situation, and they feel abandoned by black men. Anything that goes wrong in the community is black men's fault. Everything is black men's fault. They don't hold themselves accountable, or maybe there's an equal accountability to what goes on in the dysfunction of our community. No, everything is their fault, from their sons to their dads to their boyfriends to everything. And what made it worse was when former First Lady got on a podium in one of these conventions when they were before the election, when Michelle Obama got up there and she made some very insulting comments towards black men. I mean, but this just adds fuel to the fire, and this is one of the reasons why Kamala is not the president today, because they had people. To me, it seemed like this had to be like almost like borderline sabotage. Because if you're looking for black men and looking for the unified community, why would you let Michelle Obama get up there and say this foolish stuff? Check this out.
To anyone out there thinking about sitting out this election or voting for Donald Trump or a third-party candidate in protest because you're fed up, let me warn you, your rage does not exist in a vacuum. If we don't get this election right, your wife, your daughter, your mother, we as women will become collateral damage to your rage. So, are you as men prepared to look into the eyes of the women and children you love and tell them that you supported this assault on our safety? And to the women listening, we have every right to demand that the men in our lives do better by us.
And see, what happens is, for a long time, I remember when I was a teenager back in the early 90s, 91, 92, 93, they were saying that young black men was America's nightmare, and black men was not efficient enough to run their own communities or intelligent enough. I remember that. Y'all remember Menace to Society, and they showed the depiction of a black boy was Old Dog, and he was menace to society. He was wild. Y'all remember that 30-something years ago. Well, today you have a lot of black women and moist black men, right, talking about black men and saying that the ones that's not voting for Kamala Harris are the ones that's uneducated. They don't understand civics. So now when you are a black man and you have a voice, now you no longer have education. So they're expecting you to hold the community down and do all these things, but then they're calling you uneducated at the same time. Make your mind. I'm confused, because at the end of the day, who's raising these young black boys up into men? That's another question that they don't want to answer. Well, let's listen to this moist fella disrespect and talk down on black men as well. Check this out.
Black men under 50 moving towards the Republican Party. That is an easy answer, and I'm glad you asked. That is a very easy answer, because these black men, right, didn't follow the same course as the black women. They're not as educated as the black women. They're not leading in entrepreneurship like black women are. They're not leading, in wages like the black women are, right? And because they're not doing those things, black women are less tolerant of accepting mediocrity and horseshit, from black men. And so black men are pissed off, and they want, to align themselves with these white supremacist ideologies of the nuclear family, right? And women not having abortions, and women, like being able to be controlled by men. And I'm sorry, but black women aren't going to allow you to control them anymore, especially when every time in history, black women have been the first ones to step up to the plate when black men are being harmed by the system. Perfect example, when Tamir Rice died, they started Black Lives Matter. When George Floyd died, they were the very first people to put boots on the ground, and then black men spit in their faces. And so because black men can't control black women the way the white men control white women, they're trying to move the Republican Party so they can try to get some of that control, some of that power.
Now that's a moist fella saying this, but let's listen to some of these young black women say echo these same sentiments and say these things online where they put this out to the world now and you can't take it back. Let's listen to what they're saying about black men.
All the black people voted for Trump have one like major thing in common: no education, no higher education whatsoever, not completed. And education ain't everything, but it's a lot. Ask a black man why he's voting for Trump, and he gonna say something dumb like, he's helping the economy. But when you ask him to expand, like, that's the end of it. He's helping the economy. How? And they can't say nothing else. He just pulling. Ask one. Ask a local black man in your hometown why he's voting for Trump, and watch the bullshit come out his mouth. What did 50 Cent say to Floyd Mayweather? Ask a black Trump supporter to read a page from a Harry Potter book. I dare you. And then come back to this post and tell me what the response is, because they all have that one thing in common. I swear.
But see, these be the same women that talk like that about black men, but it be the same women that have a child by that same type of black man. And this is the ignorance that goes on within our community, man, and it's a very sad thing. Because you've had people in the past that's made comments about black people saying that we was not educated enough to rule or run our own communities. We didn't have the mental capacity to do anything without them being at the end of the table. They have a right to govern over us because we weren't intelligent. They said that we wasn't even human beings, right? And now today, we actually use those same talking points on each other. Like, we don't know our history. So things that people like Madison Grant, the rise of the great race, said about our people, or people like H.S. Chamberlain, or people in Francis Crick and all these different groups about what they said about us as a people. And today, we actually say the same thing that they said about us to each other. Wow. Wow. It shows our ignorance. But over in the UK, they're experiencing the same issues, right? They're experiencing the same things because this is what when you talk about gender equality and we can do all things that men do. And then, but now when men are not being the men that you expect them to be, this is the things that they're saying. Check this out.
My complaint of the day.
Yeah.
And what's your complaint of the day?
Do you know what mine is? It's trains and people and men. I think, yeah, like men not wanting... It's like the battle of the sexes when it comes to seats on trains.
Yeah.
I've noticed that men don't really want to be getting up for us anymore.
They don't.
Or they pretend you don't exist. They don't even get up for pregnant women.
Yeah, it's really bad.
It's really bad. Like, bring the real men back. How can you see me standing and you're sitting?
It's so bad.
You're a man. You're actually a man.
You're actually a man. You're actually a man.
You know, if this was the Titanic, it would be women and children.
Oh.
And it should be the same with the trains.
Let me tell
women
you
and children. Stand the up.
You actually realize that if the Titanic happened in 2024,
they'll beat us
women
up.
are cooked.
We are pissed.
You're cooked.
We are pissed.
The whole thing is going to have
use
men
you
on
for
it.
the lifeboat. You see Kate, what's his name? What's his name? Jack? Jack would have used Kate as a lifeboat. It would have sat on her head.
Bruh, it would be so bad. When you actually think about it, the fact that back then it was like this gentlemanly thing to be like, no, you need to live.
Yeah.
Even if I die, it's okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Chivalry.
it's actually on the floor. That is a very, very valid complaint, actually.
Thank you.
Because it's so bad.
Honestly.
And I've complained about this, actually, on the
Really?
show. Yeah, it's been one of my complaints.
And what about the, like, when it comes to, like, helping you with the luggage as well? Because I see women be talking about that sometimes as well. Like,
It's
guys will
so
see women with
bad.
luggage and they'll just walk past.
They'll walk
I'm like,
past.
rah.
They'll actually, like, move out of the way for you so that
Honestly,
you
so you can carry the
And they can
luggage.
hear you huffing and puffing or...
You even huff and puff
You're like,
louder.
oh, God, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And they'll just be like, move out of the way.
Or they'll probably even tell you, make sure you don't lift with your back.
Or they'll
Make
be
sure
like,
you lift with
excuse
your
me,
legs.
excuse me. And then
Yeah.
you're like, hi. And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, excuse me, please. And then they'll walk past you.
Listen,
It's so bad.
it really is bad.
That is a valid complaint. Guys, make sure you comment.
I will say this, right? Ain't nobody coming to save us. We don't have no friends. We don't have no friends. If black people don't get their heads out their behinds and figure this thing out, the most revolutionary act you can do as a black person in the West is to have a black family. because those are the things that they wanted to destroy. They wanted to destroy the black family and take out our roles of who we are to each other, the black man and black woman. We ain't got no friends. You keep running over there to those groups and you found out that the W woman don't support you. Your biggest, the people who you allied with, so you down talk black men and you allied with these other groups. The Latino group didn't support you. The W woman didn't support you. Right? And now because you don't have a plan of action, no plan of action for the community, who you lash out on? Black men. And black men do the same thing to sisters. But I ask you, here in Philadelphia, right? The home ownership is under 45%. It's like 42%. And it's probably less than that. Right? You're not paying property taxes. You don't own the businesses in your community you live in. Right? But you're talking about what black men should do. No, listen, we need to reevaluate who we are in this country and understand in the next 4 to 12 years where we're going to be. Because whether we put Kamala Harris in or not, y'all still didn't want those the letter group in your bathrooms and your spas and your schools and all the other stuff that was being pushed. So you was willing to overlook that. You look at the way, oh man, it's just so bad, man. And I tell brothers, forgive our sisters because they don't understand what they're doing. We've been socially engineered and brainwashed. Let me tell y'all something, man. The same way our sisters are brainwashed to disrespect you, it's the same way we've been brainwashed to disrespect each other as black men. Young black boys wiping, unaliving each other. Black men not sticking together. Black women not having a fake sisterhood and disrespecting black men. They got us, man, running on a hamster wheel, running around like chickens with no heads, man. We got to get ourselves together as a people. As a people. So I forgive the black woman. I forgive the black brother. Let's get to the table and figure this thing out on what we need to do to become the best version of ourselves and push our people forward, man. Because you're going to get a lot of this online as long as we don't have a plan of action for our people, man. This is what you're going to get. Because at some point, all you're going to do is start eating each other up. That's what you're going to do. And that's what you see. This young lady is on there acting, talking as if she's intelligent, not knowing that she's playing right into the hand of the open enemy. But I'm going to cut this video short here, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.